What's going on? How you doing? I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple trips I took back to rehab this week. It's almost my own little version of coffee talk. Shout out to Brandon, Gen X POV. I want to do this while it's still kind of fresh on my mind. I'm coming up on 6 years of sobriety next week, and I was asked to speak at a rehab center Wednesday this week, and it was out in the middle of nowhere. And then on Friday, I also went back to the old rehab center that I spent 30 days at and got to pick up celebrate like 6 years of my recovery. And there was others there too. It was a cool event. It's nice what they do for the alumni there. I graduated from something, but the first one that I went to on Wednesday, I was way out in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty wild. I was feeling a little anxious. I've not always been a fan of public speaking, and at least growing up I wasn't. But so there's a little bit the nerves that come with that. But mainly it was just something new, and I wasn't like overly anxious, but it was definitely some nerves. But I was also feeling confident, right? Like it's my story, and there's only one who knows this story, and I know it well enough to tell it. I can talk in front of people when I know what I'm talking about, right? I feel comfortable with that. Not like old school projects I used to have to do. But so I got there, and there was actually only two people there, and a third person showed up later. And it was pretty informal, just kind of they were able to ask me questions as I went along, and they were in a pretty good place. Like they were cool, and I've seen some people who are struggle a little more or just don't really want to partake in those type of things, but they were very into it and had questions for me. The one dude said to me, he goes, "Your story's pretty mellow compared to the last guy who was here," which is cool, because we all have our different things that we went through, and I may not have been on the same level as these guys were either, but hopefully that they could hopefully I was able to provide one thing that might be helpful to them. I just basically shared what has helped me, and so I hope they got something out of it at least. During the one guy kept I was trying to share my story, and he kept interrupting and asking questions, which is fine, right? But there's sometimes I'd have a tough time getting back to what I was talking about. But I always kind of bring a little pad with me to keep me on track. That helps me I just have like some bullet points, almost what I've done sometimes in some videos here. The other place I went to where I went, and on Friday, yesterday, there was about 50 or so people that I spoke in front of, and they even gave me a microphone, so that was exciting. Once again, it's the feeling though I get though when I'm in that place, especially the one I went to, it's kind of like where it all began. And it definitely brings me back to everything. And I really feel for the people that are in there, because they're in their first 30 days. Most of them are first, and that time is tough. I mean, I know I feel like it's easier now than it was then, because at that point when I was in there, it's like, how am I going to make this through? How am I going to do this? And it just seems like a long. It almost seems impossible in a way, right? It's like, because what got you there, right? But it feels good, and I realized with both places that I really enjoy doing that, and I really enjoy talking and trying to help others in recovery there, and and I mean, it helps me, right, with my recovery, that I'm able to share those things, and I really hope that I can provide something to them. Like I said, both places, there were other people in there for stronger things that I've ever done, right, or that I had been done or got addicted to, at least, right? So I can't always, they may or may not be able to relate to me as that much, but still the recovery. And when I share my story, I always try to, when the guy was talking about I was being low, I was more mellow. I don't get too much into what I like to try to keep it more focused on the positive and the future of what it can be. I still tell them things that may have happened that got me there, right? Of course, you got to build a little bit of a backstory, right? But I try to focus on the positive and what things can be. So I hope you know me enough that I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here. That's the last thing I want anyone to think I'm doing. I don't think I'm better than anyone in any of those places. And that's the thing. Like, I really am rooting for everyone in there. I really, really want them to get it. You know, I feel very fortunate that I got it on my first, so far, that I've got it on my first try. I never know what can happen. It really is just, you can't look that far into the future, right? As they say, the one saying is what, one day at a time, right? And really, like, that's how I focus on things. I have to, right? Anyway, so like I said, I really root for those folks, and I gotta remember that. It finally feels nice for me to be able to give back a little bit. Maybe I feel sometimes that I don't give enough, or haven't given enough in my life. Being a little hard on myself here, but let's stay positive. I'll just give one more sip of coffee type of thing. I know my buddy Brandon will appreciate that. But coffee in the car. I don't know what happened. It just stopped recording on me. I might have hit the button on my mic, but I don't know if I did or not. But anyway, thanks for tuning in and checking this one out. I really appreciate it. Stay sober, my friends, right? And talk to you in the next video. Peace.